You're never gonna get girls like that, Jeffrey. Jeffrey does it all wrong. He is horny, but he doesn't have the right traits that actually makes him attractive to girls. Of course, it's Jeffrey, so he's missing some of the fundamentals. His breath stinks. How do you think you can attract any women like that when your breath stinks, Jeffrey? Even Chads can't afford to have bad breath. Adonis. Adonis doesn't have green flags. Green flags have Adonis. Green flags have Adonis. A phenomenal communicator, respectably honest, insanely attractive. Adonis is the world's best postman because he brings the whole package. Alright, I asked a bunch of my female friends for their advice on dating. I asked them what's the best green flags that guys can have, and we're going to listen to their responses because I got them to send me voice notes.
So firstly, showing a genuine and sincere interest in your life. So someone that basically asks you questions about your day, how work's going, and just generally asks about you. You know, things aren't always just about them.
All the red pillars and the black pillars again. And wait, hang on. What about being an alpha male? What about having the perfect eyelid shape, guys?
Someone who takes care of themselves, because I always think if someone's able to take care of themselves, then they're able to take care of you too. And by that, it can be anything from watching them trying to achieve the goals, you know, taking care of their appearance, or, you know, trying to...
That's actually interesting that she said taking care of your goals, and she wants to see a man who's actually achieving things in his life. And this is one of those things that I've never seen many guys talk about. Like online, everyone talks about, okay, attractiveness, and I actually do agree with that. I think attractiveness is one of the most important parts. But a huge part of attraction that girls have in guys is that the guy sets goals and achieves them. And why do you think this is? Really ask yourself right now, why would a woman be attracted to a guy who sets goals and achieves them? Because it shows ambition, and it shows at least a potential for future success, and that's incredibly attractive. And plus, we can get a little bit deeper. If the woman that you're trying to attract is feminine, the feminine is attracted to the masculine. You must understand the feminine and the masculine energy. If you want to have like a sexual relationship, you want to understand these. The masculine is all about like the mission. What's next? What goal are we going to achieve? What are we going to conquer? The moment that a masculine man achieves a goal, he sets another one and another one and another one. It's all about the pursuit of something. Whereas the feminine energy is all about like the flow of love, about laughter, dance, communication. If the women that you're trying to attract are feminine, they will be more into you if they see that you are the masculine guy who's like focused on his goals, his purpose, his mission.
Like that person living a healthy and balanced lifestyle. And I think that if they're able to do them things for themselves, then the chances are they're able to take care of you as well. A guy who makes an effort with your parents and siblings. I think that there's nothing nicer than watching like a guy get on well with your parents and like your brothers and sisters, or like your grandparents, whoever it might be. I think that that's definitely a really nice thing, and it shows that they care about you and like the people around you and the people who are important to you as well.
That's a big one for long-term serious relationships. You want to get along with their family, but you also want to make sure that she gets along with yours. If you're really pursuing like a serious relationship, you want to be together for years, maybe for your life, you want to have children together. It's very important that you fit in with her family and she fits in with yours, because you can still have a relationship where you don't fit in, but the best case scenario, you don't have that level of friction. Not to like jack my own off, but I'm pretty sick with going to like a girl's family and like, you know, communicating with her parents and like doing well with them and like speaking to them as if they're almost like friends. And the best advice I can give you for that is just social skills. You've got to almost see them as like people that you'll be interacting with in the gym, and you ask them questions, you take an interest, you make jokes and everything. And sometimes you'll come across some family members who are like testing you, and you know, it's like hardcore like type of and like I don't personally get along with that personality style who like wants to challenge me. But the girls who I've previously dated and their parents who were like, you know, nice people, and I got along with them, like I actually was more interested in the girl because of that. But it starts with you and your social skills. So be honest, imagine you're about to meet like this girl's parents. Are you gonna hold eye contact? Are you gonna go in for a handshake or a hug? Are you gonna be awkward and like not know what to do? And be honest, because it's really worth just kind of considering what kind of guy you are when it comes to like seeing her family.
Someone who shows you that they like you through their actions, and they don't just tell you they like you. So for example, they might hold the door open for you, or text you throughout the day to ask you how your day's going, or notice that you're struggling with something, like they want to help you overcome it. Or someone who wants to help support you with your goals and tries to put you sometimes like before themselves. I think that that's a real like green flag, because words are words at the end of the day. Actions are the most important thing.
Watch their actions and not their words. And this is really good advice for guys as well when you're kind of evaluating the girl that you're interested in. Watch her actions and not what she says to you. And we have now another friend who's answering the same question.
Hey Hamza, so sorry, I just saw this. I don't use Instagram that much. I use it like once every week, 2 weeks or so.
Adonis.
I guess two main green flags would be responsibility, and if he shows compassion towards other people, but most especially his family. If he takes care of himself and then his immediate family, that already says a lot about who he is and how he would treat you in the future. So yeah, hope that helped. Bye.
That's really nice. So she mentioned the importance of responsibility. Responsibility is kind of like taking care of yourself and the things that you should be taking care of. And then when you reach a good enough level and you have the mental capacity to do so, start taking responsibility for more things. Jordan Peterson really talks about responsibility a lot, so it's no surprise that she's just mentioned that.
Number one, they hype you up. He's your number one hype man. Anywhere in the world. Number two, you don't even have to ask for anything because they've got your back. Like, they already know because they've studied you, so they know what you need and when you need it, sometimes even before you know.
So she just said that the number one green flag is that the guy like hypes her up and encourages her, and that the second one is kind of like he knows what her needs are.
Number three is like they're not looking for problems in you as a person. They understand that like we're all at different growing levels, and so they're not trying to pick at what they don't like about you. They're actively trying to find what they do like about you all the time, because you can either destroy someone even with your thoughts and put yourself off them, or like just appreciate someone, if that makes sense, and not hurt them.
I don't have that green flag, I'll be totally honest. I have a tendency to pick out negative traits in the women that I'm dating. So I don't know if it's like a defense mechanism or something, but it's usually like I'll really like a girl and things will be going good, but then my brain will automatically start to like negatively see them, like, oh, she does this wrong and she could do that, you know, like picking out things so that maybe it kind of like protects myself or something. But one of the things, like she was just saying then, that instead of doing that, instead of like trying to see all the negatives and weigh them up, just focus more on the positives. And that's some like very, very beautiful, healthy advice. And I think you'll be able to do that if you implement more gratitude. If you really think to yourself, okay, instead of being like critical of this person, think, okay, what are you grateful for? What good things do they bring to the table? Focus on them. Now, that being said, it is very important to still take account of like red flags, but I think that should be something that you do like every now and then. Like at the start of a relationship, you kind of weigh up like what red flags do they have? Like, is there anything that like really could be like a problem? But once you've kind of acknowledged them and you've kind of wanted to go forward, then don't keep constantly bringing them up. Focus more on the positives, because it will really show, like she kind of briefly mentioned it there, how you think about someone will show in the way that you interact with them. And you want, if you've got a partner, if you've got a girl that you're dating, you want her to feel like you only think like positive things of her. You want her, because that will nourish her, that will make her feel good, and that will encourage her to be even better. One important piece of advice that I've learned previously is that you shouldn't really try to change your partner. If you want to date this person, you should assume they're gonna stay like as they are. You shouldn't think like, oh yeah, this person's nice, but like if I can save her, like a lot of young men have this tendency, like, oh, like, you know, she's kind of nice and she likes me too, but like she's got some bad habits, she's got some this, she goes to the club, she takes like slutty pictures, I don't like that, but you know, I can change her, but you know, I can maybe change her and she won't be like that anymore. You have to kind of accept a person as they are right now, otherwise you're almost forcing them to be inauthentic around you, and that kind of relationship will never work out. She sent me some text messages as well. She said number 3 is the most important one. The last one that she's just texted me as well is that they believe you when you're telling them something. So essentially that there's a good level of trust in the relationship and not taking life and themselves too seriously.
A green flag I look for personally is a guy who is not afraid to show that he is attracted to women. So let me explain. There's a lot of guys who think that like simping is cringe and that you should never let a woman know that you like her, basically. And so the way that this manifests is that men refuse to give compliments. Men refuse to engage in non-sexual physical touch, just like little playful touching. And so a green flag that I look for is a guy who's not afraid to let me know that he finds me attractive, that he...
So cut out there, but I do want to comment. That is 100%. I've done the wrong thing here in previous relationships. So I've mentioned a bunch of times on my videos that there was a girl that I used to live with, like we were literally dating, we were together for like 2-3 years. And I was in like this kind of red pill anti-simp mode of like, you know, never tell her that I appreciate her, never tell, like, never say nice things about her, and like, you know, like all this alpha male type of shit. And when I look back, like I see so much negativity in that kind of relationship, and I feel like I've so much changed from that, when now I do what she says. And like, you've got to, like, if you think that this is like simping, like, okay, there's a girl that you like, maybe it's a girl that you're dating, to show her that you care about her, to show her that you appreciate her, to like do little things for her, to hold her hand, to hug her, to kiss her at like any moment. If you think that's simping, bro, you've spent too much time on the internet. You literally, like, it would be better for you right now. It'd be bad for my channel and my YouTube algorithm, but it'd be better for you to turn turn this video off and like just go stand outside in the rain and actually feel the real world, because too often like young men are consumed by the fucking internet, by YouTube, by like media, and you think that anything positive towards a woman is like simping and it's bad for you, and I don't want to be a beta male. Shut the fuck up, bro. It's the more beta male, the more like weak male, skinny neck thing, low testosterone thing to do is to take dating advice from like guys who don't even show their face on YouTube saying like, oh, we need to stop simping. Shut the fuck up, bro. Don't simp. Like, don't be like some weird like guy who donates money to like titty streamers on Twitch. But when you like a girl and she likes you too, be totally like as affectionate as you want to be. So for me personally, bro, I'm the most affectionate person ever. I'm literally, if I'm next to someone, even a male friend, I'm touching them constantly. It's just what I do. It's like how I kind of like show love, and I always used to kind of like turn that down, and so I was living like an inauthentic life. I was in inauthentic relationships. Now it's almost like a test for me, because if there's someone who's unattracted to that part of me, if there's someone who's like, oh, why you touch, bro, I'll never see them again because we're clearly incompatible. And doing nice things for a girl, again, you shouldn't be doing it in some kind of simpy way, like, oh, I'll donate money to her, but doing something nice and romantic. Like, one of the things I've done is I'm in the car with a girl, we're driving, and you know there's a car behind us or something, and I tell her, wait, pull over. So she thinks almost like it's an emergency or something. She pulls over, there's a car behind us like waiting. What the why have they just pulled over? I get out the car, like run across the road, pick out a flower, go back in the car, give it to her, and she's like, no one's ever done that. Oh my god, like, you know, she's crazy for it. That isn't me like being a simp. That isn't me like, oh my god, like I hope she has sex with me after this. It's just kind of like I felt like doing that. It stayed inside my memory. It's like, yeah, it's like a romantic thing that I've done that I'm actually like glad that I did. And then she sent another one as well.
Women want to be around men that make them feel desirable. Women don't want to be around a guy where they have to guess if he finds them attractive, if he wants to be around them at this current point in time. Because if you're not expressing interest, why am I here? I just want to leave. You know?
Women want to be around men that make them feel like they're attractive and those men are attracted to them. Really ask yourself this question, is it not the same for you? Would you want to be around a woman? Would you want to date a woman who kind of doesn't really show that she even likes you? Like, no, of course not. Like, some guys are kind of into that where they say, oh, don't make it too easy for me or something. But you want like some kind of positive feedback loop from that. You wouldn't want to date a woman who like doesn't show that she actually cares about you and that she actually likes you.
Hey Hamza, I really appreciate you reaching out to me, but yeah, for me, my green flags would probably be a guy who has a morning and night routine, someone who meditates, who's into fitness and self-improvement, because that just shows that they care about themselves and they're working towards becoming better versions of themselves and they're prioritizing themselves, you know? And yeah, that's just really attractive, and whenever I see and meet guys like that, they honestly have my respect because I'm into that stuff. So yeah.
That's nice. So she's talking about the guy being like-minded to her and he's on self-improvement, he's doing the good habits. Of course, my audience pool for this study is skewed, it's biased towards women who are onto self-improvement because I'm friends with them. But
probably like thoughtfulness, so like just the little things. So don't get me wrong, it's nice to receive flowers, but I mean, like, say if I'm in a rush, like I've been at uni all day, for them to be like, oh, just come straight to the gym, like I've got you a pre-workout ready made, you don't need to go home, and like, I don't know, that's a very specific example, but just little things like that.
She's such a gym girl that she the best green flag in a guy is that he gets me pre-workout.
Oh my god, I know. If they like Marvel, and I don't just mean like, oh yeah, no, I like Iron Man. I mean like, if they truly understand the multiverse and like they understand how it all interlinks, and they're always like, oh my god, that's coming out, we need to go and see that straight away. That is a big green flag for me, because I think I'm just such a little Marvel nerd. Oh my god, I've properly just exposed myself.
So the first one she said is that he does little things for her, like he's kind of thinking about her and he's just made her life easier in some sense. And the second one, she's specifically talking about like Marvel, like the movie company or something, but it's more kind of like sharing the same enthusiasm and interest in the things that she likes as well.
The two biggest green flags that I see in guys, and you also notice this when your friends find a good guy and you start seeing green flags. The one thing is being responsive and receptive to emotions. So understanding signals, understanding when the girl is not okay or when she didn't like something and picking up on it and asking about it. And the second thing is being able to apologize, like putting that pride away for like 5 minutes to have the conversation and apologize for something they know has upset the girl. So I think that's the two biggest green flags for me.
Interesting. So the first thing she said is kind of like social intelligence. intelligence, being able to pick up cues. So if you're dating a girl, it's kind of like having that sense, that gut instinct that like something isn't right with her, that she's upset about something. And it's kind of like a true stereotype that women generally are more emotional and they'll have like the full spectrum of emotions. And for a man, it's like we're more certain on something, like today I feel happy, tomorrow I feel okay. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, we're consistent with that. Whereas a woman, especially a feminine woman, can have quite chaotic moods. So she can be like anxious and insecure for 1 second and literally 5 minutes later feel like totally loved and secure. So you have to be able to pick up on that. And the second thing she said is a green flag is the ability to apologize. Now this is where it gets interesting, because you might think, oh no, this is all wrong and Hamza's getting blue pill advice from girls. Why would you ask girls for advice and stuff? But the thing is, I have been through the spectrum of dating advice, and I have been like, okay, total virgin, then I've been total red pill, alpha male, girls, and you know, dry, like dark behaviors and and apologizing to a girl for me is extremely unnatural, because for years I've like implemented more of like the dark triad, alpha male traits and everything. And so there was a girl that I apologized to a little while ago, even multiple girls. Like I'm getting more into the ability of being able to apologize, and like she just said, she used the perfect word there. It's being able to put your pride away. Pride is the fuel for your ego. The opposite of that is humility, and humility, as you may remember, is Adonis's second virtue. Humility is being able to see some of your weaknesses.
Two green flags for me, probably the main one is personality, and then a big one for me is like interest, like matching interest. That's mine.
Personality and matching interest. So interest, we've heard that a couple of times now, having the same interest as her. So that's all of my friends who replied. There was a few who like didn't really get the message, and they they messaged me back like, is the video for men or for women? So those are the best green flags that women say that they're attracted to. And it's up to you to decide if you do want to be introspective and see if you bring these things to the table. Share the video with a friend who it might help, and do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.